Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I take this trash, which is just an acetaminophen bottle, and turn it into treasure, which is a gnome. So I took the label off the bottle, and believe it or not, it was very easy just to pull off. Didn't have to put any heat or anything on it. And I'm just going to put a bag, just a bag you get from the Dollar Tree or whatever, down inside the bottle. The first thing I'm going to do. And then that's just to muffle sound. And then I'm going to add some of these pebbles. I don't know what you call them anyway. They're glass. A friend of mine gave them to me and I got tons of them. So I'm going to add quite a few of those into the bottle just to give it some stability so it's not going to fall over. And then I'm going to add another bag so that it'll muffle the glass pieces that are inside. And then I'm just going to put the lid on and we'll get started with this gnome. He's so cute. So this is one of the larger acetaminophen bottles. This is the HEB brand that, yes, is only available in Texas, I believe. And then I have a piece of denim, and this is just a pants leg from an old pair of pants, pair of jeans. So basically this is totally trash. I guess except for the glass pieces I put inside, but they were given to me. So I'm just going to cut a piece big enough that I can use to cover my bottle. And I don't want it all the way at the top of the lid, but I do want it a little bit of the way at the lid. And then I don't want it even with the bottom of the bottle, but I do want about an inch or so from the bottom of the bottle is where I'm going to cut the jean material. Now, I did get my idea for this off of another YouTube channel, and I will link that channel in my description box. And I'm just cutting off the threads that are on this. And I'm just going to add some glue down the side of my bottle. And then I'm going to add my jean material to it. And I almost made a mistake. I almost put it right there in the middle. No, no, no. Start with the end of the jean material. That's what you want to do. And so I'm taking it up to a little ways to the cap. And so it's about an inch longer than the bottle itself at the bottom. So as I pull it tight across, I am just going to run a bead of glue all the way down the piece of denim material. And I am going to overlap this just a little bit, about a half an inch. Be careful, don't burn yourself. And then the bottom was a little uneven on the jean material, so I'm just going to even that up. And then I'm going to cut slits all along the bottom of the jean material so that I can glue that on and lay it down flat. So I'm just going to glue on each little flap there. And there was a piece I needed to cut a little bit more. It was a little too wide, so I cut that. And I'm sorry I'm out of frame here. It is really hard. I don't know if you've ever crafted and videotaped it at the same time. But for me, at least, it is so hard to stay in frame while you're doing this. I don't know why I can't do it, but I'm either off to one side or the other side, or I'm out of frame altogether. I just don't know. I mean, I try, I really do. But hopefully you'll be able to see enough of this so that if you want to make this yourself, you can. But it's really not that hard. So there I have all those bottom pieces glued down. And now what I want to do is make a circular or a circle out of the piece of denim or jean material to put on the bottom to cover that up. And I just took this bottle of paint. It was about the same size as the bottom of the pain reliever bottle that I was using. And I'm just going to trace around it. Although my pen wasn't working, it didn't work. So then I got the bright idea of getting a chalk pen out. Well, it was kind of dried up too. So I just pretended I could see that. So I could see it a little bit. But man, getting things that work. I did the best I could. So I just dry fitted that onto the bottom, and it looked pretty good. I did have to trim it up just a tiny bit. And I'm just going to add my hot glue to the bottom of the bottle and then put my circle on top of that. And to make sure I got it on there straight. And that looks pretty good. Now I got to work on the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue, hot glue, down on top of the bottle itself before you get to the lid. So I'm putting it there, and then I'm also going to put it on the bottom part of the lid. Not quite halfway up the lid. And then I'm just going to squeeze it all together. And if there's any gaps or anything that doesn't glue down to the bottle, I'll add some more glue. And then I'm going to check the side piece there too. So the seam there needs a little bit more glue along some of the edge. And then I'm like, you know what? I better check the bottom. And there we go. So I need to put some more along the edge of the bottom of that circle that we put on there, or that I put on there. I don't know why we say we, but we all say we. I guess because, I don't know, we're trying to teach you how you can make this, and we just automatically say we. I don't know, but we all do it. And now what I have is this furry material that I got from Dollar Tree, and it actually comes in black, white, tan, and gray. I decided to go with the black because I thought it would go with the material better that we're going to make for his hat. And I'm just cutting a piece of it that is the length that I need. And I measured from not the lid of the container or bottle, but underneath the lid to the bottom. And when you cut this, you want to cut just that bottom layer there. You don't want your scissors to go through to the fur on there. And this isn't like a really, I don't know. It's not like some of the fur you can get. This is a real close-knit fur. It's short. But it works. It works for the beards. It might not be as pretty as you think it should be, but it looks like a real full beard, you know, like older men have. They got that real bushy beard. Kind of what it looks like. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting at an angle because I want it to kind of not really come in a point, but to angle down. But you'll see in a minute that I didn't do this right at all. And I am just cutting that bottom layer. I don't want to cut the fur, so I'm trying to go very, I'm trying not to get my scissors onto the other side so as not to cut the fur. But you do want to cut it at an angle. And I thought, oh, I'm doing so good with this. No, Liz, you were not. You were not, because when you turn this over, when you turn it over, what happens? The beard is going in the wrong direction. The wrong direction. Yeah. So guess what? I have to do this all over again and get it right this time. See, that's what I'm saying. My beard was going in the wrong direction. So you want to make sure you cut your angle and have your beard going in the right direction. Because I didn't. I make these mistakes so you don't have to. Hey, I make mistakes all the time when I'm crafting. I mean, really. You either cover them up, you paint over, you redo it, or you start over. Usually you can fix it though, usually. See, I'm making sure that my beard's going in the right direction, that I have my angle going in the right direction. And it is. Now I just got to do the other side. Now you can make the beard go in a point. I was going to, but then once I got it on there and everything, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it the way it is. It's okay. And one side actually, I guess, is more slanted than the other side. But hey, whose beard is perfectly symmetric? Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you go to the barber and they do it for you, they get it good. But, you know, here I'm thinking, okay, let me just cut it and get it more at an angle, but at a point, and then I'm like, no, just leave it as is because you're probably going to make it worse. So I just left it. I'm putting a line of glue along the top there, and this is where the seam is. So I'm going to cover the seam up with the beard. So we're not going to have any seams showing for this gnome. And then I'm just going to take my glue gun and I'm going to glue down the rest of the beard. Both sides and the bottom. And this stuff does kind of make a mess. It's not too bad. But yeah, it is kind of messy. But I think any of the fake fur that you use is, like even the longer stuff that you get from Hobby Lobby or whatever. I mean, they all make a mess. I guess we just have to work with them as best we can. Look at that, it's blowing everywhere from a ceiling fan. Okay, so we got the beard on and now we're going to do the nose. There I go with the we. Okay, I'm going to do the nose. So I have this half bead that I got from Amazon. And I put it on there, you know, just to see what it would look like. And then I'm like, you know, it's kind of small. So I got the bigger one and I'm like, yeah, that looks better. I thought maybe the bigger one would be way too big, but it wasn't. I like it. And just put it in the middle of your beard at the top. And now I have my material for the hat. And as you can see, it has some black in it. And that's why I thought a black beard would look better. And this material, I actually got this when we were stationed in Hawaii, like 30 years ago. Can you believe that? 30 years ago. So we've been in Texas for 30 years. And we got here from Hawaii. My husband was in the military. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this. Well, I just cut it a little bit and then I ripped it. And what I did was to get, to know how big around to do it is, I put it around my gnome, went over the nose, and overlapped it by about a half an inch. And that's how I knew how wide to cut the material. And now I folded it lengthwise, and I'm just going to cut a triangle. Now I didn't go all the way up because it was a little long, and I left about 2.5 inches, I believe, down at the bottom that I didn't cut. So it's kind of squared off at the bottom a little bit. You can see it there in the upper right corner. And then I just angled it for the rest of it. And I'm just going to glue this together with the printed side in the glue, because we're going to turn this right side out. And that way we'll have a seam and you won't know that it's actually glued. So this will make a seam when you turn the hat. But I love the bright colors. You know, in Hawaii, everybody wears bright colors, and I love that. Love it, love it, love it. I had gone to that big flea market around the stadium in, I think, is it Honolulu? Something like that. And, you know, vendors have material and all, and I bought up a bunch of it. And, of course, here in Texas, I mean, I guess you could wear it, but anyway, I have all this material, and yeah, it looked perfect for a gnome. So I'm just going to turn this right side out, and I'm using my bone folder to get the tip of the hat turned. And then I realized, oh, look at that. The glue didn't catch. So I'm going to have to turn this back the other way, and I'm going to re-glue it. I don't know if I waited too long to put the pieces together when I got my glue on. Maybe I didn't use enough glue and it dried before I can put it together. But at any rate, all you need to do is turn it back over and put some more glue on it. So that's what I did. And then I'm going to turn it again. And then I see, oh, there's another piece that didn't catch. So I need to re-glue that. I thought that was going to be it. I thought I was good to go. So I'm turning it back right side out. Look at those bright colors. Aren't they pretty? I love it. Orange hearts, pink, yellow, green. It's so pretty. And then once I get that turned, I'm like, oh, look, there's another hole. Another piece that didn't catch. So, okay, let's put some more glue on it. And we're good to go. No worries. No worries. We're good. And then I want to make a hem at the bottom. So I did turn it back wrong side out a little bit, not all the way. And I had about 1.5 inches, I guess it is. And I'm just going to make a hem and glue it down. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, so once I have that done, I'm going to turn it right side out again. And then I'm going to make a little cuff. So once I get my cuff, and it's about maybe 1 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, something like that. I just put a little bit of glue along the seam there, just a dab, and then I'll do one in the front, just a dab. And that's all I'm going to need for that. And then I'm going to fit my hat onto my gnome. Make sure the seam of the hat is in the back. Make sure it doesn't cover up his nose completely. Which I did feel like I got it a little bit far down on his nose, but it'll work. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back there where the seam is, and you can see some of that fur. Look at that, how messy. And there it is over his nose. So I'm just putting a little dab of glue on the material or the nose there and pressing that down. And then my nose was, you know, how it's on the beard, so it was kind of poking up a little bit. So I put some more glue on that. And then I'm trying to decide how I want his hat. Do I want it on this side? Does that look okay? Add a little bit more glue there under the hat by the beard. And then, of course, you got to do the other side. And I like the orange hearts there. And I really didn't want to cover those up. As you can see, you know, the hat's going to flop over. Or you can flop it over, which is what I wanted. But look, it's going to cover up the hearts. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to bring it to the other side so you'll be able to see the hearts. And that I like better. And I'm just going to glue it down just a little bit. Not the very tip, but a little up from the tip. And then I decide it needs some kind of decoration on the end. And I went and got a button. So this is just a white button with a black design on it with 2 holes. And I'm just going to glue that on the tip of his hat. And he's done. The gnome is done. Now that wasn't too hard, was it? And it's trash to treasure. I mean, that material is 30-some years old. I bought the fur from the Dollar Tree. It was an old cut-up pair of pants. It was a pill bottle, Dollar Tree bags, Of course, I did get the half bead from Amazon, and I've had the buttons forever. So truly trash to treasure. And then the blue jeans, of course, was from an old pair of jeans. So there he is. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments. And here he is. He's so cute. Isn't he cute? I like him. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe, feel free to do so. And I will see you in the next video.